Hi, welcome back to my channel. Tonight is date night, so I want to take you along as I get ready for that. I want to chat with you about the start of taking down the deck, some interesting things with that. And then I want to talk to you about a challenge that I started last month, and kind of my thoughts and what that was, and so stick around. Alright, so you saw I did my hair. I didn't do much to it because it is raining, so I know that this will fall a little bit more. I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna be a little bit messy. But I want to do my makeup. Put some effort in. We've been married 13 years in May, and I still like to look at least a little bit presentable for a date. We're meeting some friends and I can't wait. I like to go on double dates. It's good to go out with other married couples. So, the deck. So the first night we just took off like the top railing, and that was all great. Didn't really have much hindrance. Took some stuff off the deck, like just cleaned it off, because like I said, we used it for storage and things like that. And started that process. Noticed that quite a bit of the screws are a little bit rusted. The deck's been up for probably, trying to think, about 7 or 8 years. No, longer than that. Probably closer to 11 or 12. Couldn't be. Yeah, 11 years. It was put up 11 years ago. So, a little bit of rust doesn't surprise me. But, so we were dealing with a little bit of that. And so we started that process, looked and saw that the main boards on the base of the deck are star screws. Like the heads of them are like star shaped. So we figured out which one we needed for that. Started taking those out. We decided we needed new bits for that because ours is rather worn out and you want a good grip, especially with older screws that are a little bit rusted. And we happened to also notice that there were a few screws that were like square. So we went and got the right size bits for these screws, and we start going to town taking them out. Well, we quickly realized that the square screws are not like in a regular pattern. So it's not like they ran out of a box of the star screws and then switched over. No. That would make sense to my brain. No, it's like 3 star screws, 2 square, back to star, 1 square, 5 star. Like it makes no sense. Like to put that in, you would have to switch back and forth between bits. Like it makes no logical sense. I don't get it. If you're a construction worker and can explain that to my brain, please let me know. Cause I don't get it. But we're making headway. We've gotten almost all the screws out. And that in itself is a job. And then we're removing all of those screws first, and then we're gonna remove the boards. And we're gonna store the boards in a dry spot in our basement and pull only the boards we need for the stair project out here, so that they don't waste away faster than we get them used and deteriorate, because that would just be a waste. But that's kind of how the deck project's going. I'll show you a picture of how that looks. Overall, not bad, and even with the screw debacle is what I'm calling it, it's going pretty quickly and fairly easily. Tommy and I are going around and taking out the screws, and Kaylin's going around and collecting them in a bag for us. Now for my challenge that I challenged myself. So I talked a little bit in January about dealing with some anxiety, and a little bit even in February. With all the change that we've been going through, I noticed my anxiety was creeping up. Well, when my doctor and I talked about it, and I looked into some therapy and things like that, scheduled with a therapist, it didn't work out. So I looked at some other options, and I was reading about how much caffeine can affect your anxiety levels. And then I got to thinking about the fact that I really enjoy my cup of Nespresso every day. Like, not just a standard drip coffee, but espresso strength. And there were times that I was drinking 2 of those a day. And on top of that, a Mountain Dew or other pop that would contain high amounts of caffeine. So I really started analyzing, maybe it's the caffeine that's also kind of contributing. I know it's not just one source. I'm not saying that at all, but I think my caffeine intake plus some other things were contributing to not only my anxiety, but my difficulty with sleep, because I was struggling to sleep. So I decided that in the month of February that I was going to cut out major caffeine. The only caffeine I was going to have was in the form of tea, whether that be hot or iced, because a lot of caffeine is not good for you anyway, and I was trying to cut pop out because one of my medications makes pop taste flat, which is gross. So that was going to be going anyway. So I thought that that would be a good time to cut my caffeine intake. I don't need it anyway. And it would help with weight loss on top of everything else. So I'm now on day 31 of not drinking coffee. Was it hard? For the first week, yes. Every time I smelled coffee, I wanted it. Still do every now and then. But I figured out that I like the smell of it more than I like the taste of it. I actually enjoyed more so the cream and sugar or sweeteners or flavors or whatever I was adding to it than the actual coffee. And I figured out that I like unsweet tea more than I like sweetened tea, or even like a sweetener sweetened tea. So I'll drink unsweet tea before I'll have anything that's been even artificially sweetened or a natural sweetener. So for me, it's been game changer. My anxiety is a whole lot less. I don't have to worry about whether or not it's past a certain hour and needing to not drink any caffeine, because I'll be up all night, because that has happened. I've literally laid awake all night because I drank coffee past, it was 11:30 in the morning one morning. So that's kind of where I was with that. I know it's not for everybody, and I don't recommend just quitting coffee cold turkey. I had started to reduce the amount of coffee and caffeine before that over the period of about 2 weeks. But then once February hit, it was completely off the table, not an option. So, and I never realized how hard it was to find low sugar, low to no caffeine drink options if you're out to dinner. Because not every restaurant, at least around here, serves unsweet tea. I find that interesting. Things you didn't know until you needed that option. And then something I'm looking forward to this weekend, we're gonna really start hitting the ground on some projects, because next week our schedules are crazy busy. But we are going to, I'm going to tackle the knee walls this weekend. I'm going to paint the front door this weekend. What else am I doing? I'm going to decorate the dining room this weekend. So lots of projects coming up this weekend. I've already been looking at redoing my office. My wall feels too busy, so I'm wanting to like relay that out. I don't know. When I'm editing, it feels very cluttered, and I don't know what to do about it yet, so leave your suggestions down below on how I can relay that out, maybe refigure that out. I'm also going to take some time this weekend to figure out my upcoming video schedule. My analytics for the month of February were really hard to look at. It was one of my lowest months in a long time since I got started. So I'm really regrouping and figuring out how to get back kind of in a groove, figure out my scheduling. I've been feeling kind of lost a little bit lately, figuring out kind of what to film, kind of the direction I want my channel to go. So I'm really rethinking some things. I'm considering doing another kind of similar to Vlogmas, doing in the month of April, since it's my birthday month, doing a everyday post kind of thing, different things like that, and just really kind of figuring out how I want to go about it so that I can continue moving my channel forward and my brand. So if you have some ideas, let me know down below. But I think we got I was working some more on the columns the other day and really thinking through that process, and I think we figured out how we're going to go about that. I was originally going to do a mitered edge with a thicker board, but I think I want to go something a little bit lighter in weight, make it a little bit easier for this initial project, because I know that here in a few years we're wanting to do some heavier renovations, new flooring, things like that. So I don't want to do a lot of heavier duty, nicer work on the columns until we redo the floors, and then I want to do it at that point for the nicer finishes, because at that point we're wanting to bring back in some of the like original trim work and things like that that were once in this house. We're wanting to replicate some of that, so we're going to be kind of holding off doing that level of finish on it. So we're going to test out an idea I have. We'll let you know if that works. I'm going to take you along for that. We'll see. I'm not going to reveal that yet. See if it works. And I got to put on mascara. That's my least favorite part of this. Tommy calls this thing a torture device. I kind of agree. I need good recommendations for mascara because this isn't cutting it. I had tried the sample of it, but it was great, but then once I got the full size, I don't feel like it's the same mascara even though it is. Does that make sense? I almost want a bunch of the samples so that I have better functioning mascara, but I don't think that'll work. I have super, super, super long eyelashes, that want to curl into my eyeballs. And I have to curl them because when I wear my glasses, if I have mascara on, it will leave mascara on the backs of my lenses, and that's not fun. Alright, now all I have to do is put on a little lip gloss for dinner, and I'm all ready to go. I want to thank you for joining me today as I got ready and chatted with you on some project updates. We are really going to get these projects cranking this weekend, and I can't wait to share more of that with you. Tuesday or Friday next week, I'm not sure which day, there will be a product review. I have a love-hate relationship with dog hair in this house, and I have some products that I use to help combat that, and I want to share which ones are my favorites and which ones don't work. So you'll want to tune in for that one. I'll see you then. Bye.